They're yellow, love eating bananas, keep bumping into each other, and talk in a funny way.
Mille-doué, spectacle. Quelle est la moque?
Oh, you already know I'm talking about the Minions, right?
La bougie!
Speaking of Minions, we can't forget their master Gru. This guy who starts the franchise as a villain but gradually becomes a really likable character. But he's not the only character who undergoes a transformation for the better. Have you noticed that in Megamind, the main character looks a lot like Gru? No, I'm not talking about physical appearance because they are quite different, but their way of acting is almost identical. They are evil and want to cause chaos in the world. But the similarities don't end there. The talking fish in a robotic body that helps Megamind is called Minion. Yes, the same name as Gru's helpers. But that's just the first of 20 fun facts about Minions and Despicable Me that I'm going to share with you. So get on board because another Cinewave is starting. And speaking of the Minion language, did you know that the person who voices all of them is the same? Yes, the same voice actor. Pierre Coffin is a voice actor who also directed Despicable Me 2, Despicable Me 3, and of course, Minions. Initially, he didn't plan to do all the voices. He created the funny voice one day to show how he imagined these little guys speaking, but his voice work was so good that he became the official voice actor. When it goes to film, the only change is that his voice is a bit sped up, which makes it even funnier. And did you know that their way of speaking is not just fun, but a unique language? That's right, the Minions communicate in, drumroll please, Minionese. The language of these little guys is a mix of English, Spanish, French, Italian, and even Japanese. Yes, Minion is not a mess. No, they just create the mess. Besides adopting and caring for Margot, Edith, and Agnes, Gru also gradually starts to like them and moves away from his evil ways. One of the scenes that shows this is when he reads the book Sleepy Kittens to them. But did you know that this book doesn't just exist in the movie? Yes, in real life, the same little book was released. Would you like to have one at home? Now, back to the Minions. They trick us, because despite their youthful appearance, they are actually quite old and have been on Earth for millions of years. And the proof is that they coexisted with dinosaurs. Can you imagine living alongside such scary creatures? Yeah, I guess only Minions can be friends with dinosaurs, right? Besides being fearless, Minions have special abilities. In the first Despicable Me movie, one of the Minions ends up in outer space. Yeah, it seems Earth isn't enough for them. It only makes sense that they went so far, right? But how do Minions survive outside Earth? Well, unlike us, Minions don't need oxygen. They also withstand freezing temperatures, so even when they're so far away, they stay super chill. Have you ever thought of this as a superpower? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a Minion gets accepted into the Justice League soon. The Minions' look and style are unique, that's for sure. But when the production team was creating these characters that we love, they were inspired by other movies, and one of them was quite helpful. Do you remember the Oompa Loompas from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? These are other very distinctive little guys. So the Minions were inspired by them. Is that why Minions love to sing? It can't be just a coincidence. This I don't know, but what I do know is that we here love Minions and Despicable Me. And if you also love them and have been watching the video so far, I challenge you to comment #banana down in the comments. And speaking of bananas, even though Minions have their own language, we can still understand everything they say, partly because they're always gesticulating a lot and we can grasp the context, but that's not all. In some films, Minions speak French very quickly. Additionally, some words are pronounced understandably by the Minions, and banana is definitely one of them.
C'est la banana! Miam, miam!
If it's about saying a word understandably, let it be food, right? But wait, what day is it today? Why am I asking you this? Oh, it's because September 22nd is a very important date that you need to mark on your calendar. It's the day Minions celebrate Banana Day, and for them to have a day dedicated to this fruit, it's already clear that their favorite food is banana. Banana is the favorite food of the little yellow creatures. In several movies of the Despicable Me franchise, Minions are either eating or chasing after bananas. They even fight over who gets to eat the fruit. It might seem strange, but I'm sure you also have a favorite food that you love to eat alone, right? Be honest. And now answer me this. Have you ever run into a lost Minion on the street? Well, if you haven't yet, you might encounter one near your house at any moment because there are between 899 to 10,000 Minions in the world.
What?
Yes, that's the estimate of how many of these little creatures have been wandering around the planet for millions of years. But when you find them, it might not be easy to know who is who because several Minions have the same names. That's right, so grab a pencil and paper to jot down the repeating names. Stuart, Kevin, Bob, Mel, Dave, Jerry, Carl, Tom, Phil, Tim, and George. Phew! there are a lot of names, but there are way more minions, so many of them share names. If you can't differentiate them by name, maybe by appearance? Also, it won't be an easy task because minions are very similar, with 48 different looks, which vary by eye type, hairstyle, and glasses. But generally they are copies of each other. How does Gru manage to tell them apart? But one thing is certain, when you meet a minion and greet it, you'll notice the 13th curiosity about them. All minions, without exception, have 3 fingers on their hands. And not just that, they also have only 3 toes on their feet. I don't know why that is, but I do know why you've come to this channel. I'm sure you're here because you're looking for the best content about cartoons and animated movies. So if you want to see awesome videos like this every day, go ahead and click the subscribe button, activate the bell, and enjoy. Now here's a fun fact about a character we almost forgot. Professor Flux, who appears in the Minions movie, is super wacky, right? He's the guy who rescues several versions of himself from the past and future, leading to a huge mess. Well, besides being a bit out there, this character was created as a nod to the movie Back to the Future. In that film, the name Flux refers to a power converter they use to travel through time, and in Minions, the professor also uses time travel. Now I have a tough question for you. Have you ever imagined a world where minions never existed? I don't even want to think about it. But as absurd as it seems, this almost happened. When the script for Despicable Me was written, the minions didn't exist. Gru would have been much angrier, with a grumpy face, and his followers would have been ogres. Man, I can't even imagine how that would be. Thank goodness they changed it. When the minions get angry, they're anything but cute. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to run into an angry minion on one of those days. And did you know that their grumpy faces were actually inspired by another super cool cartoon? That's right, the grumpy minions were inspired by Tweety and Sylvester. In that episode where Tweety gets really big and scary, even Sylvester gets freaked out. Honestly, I can't decide which is scarier, Monster Tweety or the angry minions. Well, you know they're similar, but there's a detail that will shock you. Hold on to your chair, because all the minions are boys. Yes! You've understood that minions have roamed the earth for a long time, and during this period, they sought out various masters before finding Gru. However, something that will surprise you is that minions will probably have many more masters because they are immortal. The proof of this is that they simply already existed, even before the dinosaurs set foot on Earth. They have lived through various eras, serving the Pharaoh, Dracula, and even Napoleon, before becoming the loyal servants of Gru. So despite their childlike faces and innocent demeanor, you can be sure that the little yellow beings are the oldest thing you'll see today. And to wrap up this list of curiosities, we need to recognize the impact Minions have had on our world. Minions are so loved that their movie achieved a historic milestone for Illumination, the studio that produced the film. The Minions managed to gross over $1 billion at the box office. That's what I call beloved characters. We've selected 2 more cool videos that are perfect for you, and they're right here on the screen. Just choose your favorite and click. Oh, also check out our channel's playlist. It's super complete. This way you can have lots of fun videos playing in sequence. Thanks, and enjoy the video!